right, it's January 27th, 2018. This is L. Jermaine Russell here with another, video of me just, showing you my trials and tribulations of the stock market. I have been doing really good up until, this morning. This morning, I kind of, I sold a stock. I could have waited a little bit longer to actually sell it, but I decided just to cut my losses because I was down $300, and it was like, you know what, this was not worth it. But I did see where I did wrong on ALDX. So ALDX yesterday was a stock that popped up, right? And when it popped up, it actually had its morning. This is yesterday. So yesterday it had after hour news about a drug that actually got their FDA positive trial. I think went through its phase 3 trial and started doing really good. The catalyst, if you want to get into the details of the microbiology, the biochemistry of it all, then I think I said microbiology. No, microbiology has nothing to do with that one. It's more biology, biochemistry of that drug, of that company. Then that'll be for another time, another topic. But essentially what I wanted to focus is that it had a catalyst, and the catalyst was going to allow it to run even further coming up for the next day, right? So when I found out about it, which happened after hours, which is something else, when you're looking for any type of stock and you're trying to see okay, you're trying to see that it's going to actually have some like pre-market movement, or if there's any after-hour movement. Bazinga, other than a term created by Sheldon off Big Bang Theory, Bazinga is a good website that actually shows you some of the market movers. So you get it quick, pretty much up to date. Sometimes you get delays with other, if you're not using your own trading platform, right? So let's say that you're on a trading platform that does not have the capabilities of running a scan like the one that I have on my phone. I have TD Ameritrade, and they cannot do the same scan or replicate the same scan that it does on its trading platform. So when I'm on the trading platform, I can just go to scan because I already have everything preloaded as to the parameters of what type of stock I'm looking for. This is like pretty much has been my sweet spot thus far, so I am sticking with it. I know that consistently works. So is the next thing is just making sure that I'm following the pattern. So like I said, go to Bazinga. You can find anything in the pre-market, after hours. So like after hours is moving, has some stuff that are moving, including IGC, which is the next stock I will talk about after ADLX. But you can see, what stocks are moving, and what caused the movement essentially. So you'll see it. It's just in case if you're not using Bazinga and you're looking for something that will show you some movers while you're on the website surfing, Bazinga is a good one to go to. So anyway, back to ALDX. So what happened is that I ended up buying this somewhere. It was like right around here. I thought it was going to hold this 1520 area. I wasn't sure if it was going to come down originally. I wasn't sure if it was coming down to 14. But once I saw that it was holding, I said, you know what? I should get this. So I actually bought at 1520. So I was in the good. I was totally good. Wasn't really thinking much. I just knew that it had more potential to retest this high at 1630. That part I knew. So once I started to see this balance out right here, I said, you know what? Maybe I should get in. And then actually it was not 1520. I'm sorry. I got in at 1470. So at 1470, I was able to get in, and that was more back here. So let me actually get the time. What time did I actually get in? Because that would be more helpful. Because I believe I got in during the afternoon, and the only reason why I'm not showing it on my laptop is because I still don't know how to keep my password and all that safe while you know, before I post it up on YouTube. So I'm looking on my phone in my Wells Fargo account, which is where I do some of my trading on as well. I trade on a couple accounts, and Wells Fargo is definitely one of them. And with Wells Fargo, let me see, activity. You can, they have an app, and you can just place your orders on their brokerage account, just like with anything else. But just like with Wells, unlike TD Ameritrade, E Trade, or Interactive Brokers, you do not have access to the pre-market or after hours. So that does leave you at a disadvantage. But you can still get your buys and your sells in. So I bought. Let's see, what does this say? Ugh. Nope, it's not telling me the right numbers. I don't think it has settled completely yet in my account. So I'm giving you, this is real time. I have not even looked at anything yet. I just knew that I made an order and I needed to get in or get out. So essentially here, like I said, I found, and I remember saying it to a chat group that I'm in. I said revenge trade, and I'm getting in. And I want to say I actually did get in at like 15 or 1480. I want to say it was 1480. But I can correct myself in another video. But I definitely got in before this spike. That part I do recall. So I saw this spike, and I remember saying it into the group that I'm in with some other traders. And they're mainly more of options trading, which I'm slowly trying to learn, because it seems like you can get more bang for your buck with options. However, like I said, I got in and I saw that it had some opportunity to run, or at least retest the 1630, and it didn't do it. It fell. As you could tell, it actually kind of fell. It kind of collapsed, and I saw it collapsing, and I did not want to believe that it was actually going to collapse. I wanted to tell myself that it was going to do better. And yes, I got in at 1575. Sorry. Yeah, I got in at 1575. So that had to been like right here. Yep. So I got in at 1575. I had actually checked my messages from the group that I sent. So like, yes, I sent it at 1575. And I could have just made the dollar a share. I could have just put in a sell order, above 1630 or 1650, like I did today with FNOK. But I didn't. The spike came and went, and it came all the way down. And normally taking a small percentage loss is what I will do. I don't like going more than 2, maybe 3%, particularly if I see that it has a lot of potential. But once it gets around 2%, I start losing my guts, and I have to get out, right? So I got in at 1575. It spiked up to 1670, and that's a dollar a share right there, 95 cents a share. I could have went out like a G and been just fine, but I didn't, and that was like a short second. Like, this all happened in a span of 6 minutes right here. Each candlestick represents 2 minutes, so that was a very short time. But either way, I could have put in an order even at 1550. I would have got 80 cents a share and would have been out. But as truth be told, greed got in the way. My ego got in the way. And as far as allowing your ego to get in the way, especially when you have such a pattern that's following your pattern, you see the 100-day moving average crosses over the VWAP and everything. Like, your pattern follows their pattern. The support levels was shown. You see there was support here, right? There's even support. There was even some support right here. Actually, you have to go back some more to see more support, but it went up super high. So finding all the levels at this stage is going to be pretty hard, just because it just went exponential real quick. So just knowing that you're able to see, and it's the all-time high, right? Yeah, which was yesterday. So just seeing that it would had that much potential of running that far and having support right here. You can see even some support was settled right here before the crash, before it actually came back down. But it came down, and it came down hard, right? Um, but coming into the spike itself, after it made a spike and it actually, came down to, to the market open where everyone was happy and there was a lot of euphoria going on, and then it made support right here. So there was a support here line, there's a support line here because you see some buying and selling here, some buying and selling here. It's not 100, it's not 100%, but it's relatively close. So you could say 1230, 1230, maybe 12, but 12 to 1230, somewhere around there. It spiked up, came back down, and then saw some more support right where this form of resistance formed. So this form of resistance was at $13. There's some support here at $13. Well, 1308, right, if you want to be exact. So there's some support at 13 now. Comes up, comes back down, right? So there's a little bit more support, probably about 20 cents higher, before it actually starts to rip, and it goes up for like a good another $3 before coming back down. So being able to see where these support lines are, and the fact that it was creating a higher low. So this is one low at the 1220, 1230 area, and then this is another low. So the low was higher than its previous low. So you have this $13, $13, $20, $30 area, maybe not 20, maybe 30. So $13, $20 area. So these lows, this low to this low, this low is lower than this low, right? That's three lows. So it goes low, but it also comes up high. So when it comes up higher, there's some more support here, right? So each lower was getting higher than its previous, and then it just rips on through, and this is where it tests the 1630, and goes a little bit higher to 1670. So on this chart, what my biggest lesson is in understanding not only where you're buying in the middle of a run, because where you're buying in the middle of the run, you don't know what's going on up here. I'm doing all of this in hindsight. So in hindsight, yes, I see the supports, I see resistance, I should buy at support. So, I am minimizing my risk of loss when it tests resistance. Get it. But in real time, and you're seeing all of this really going on, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing this, and then it's going, and then you're starting to see it make some movement, but you're not sure. So you're not sure. You see some red candles. You're like, okay, I see my white line and my green line looks like they're about to cross. It looks like they're trying to cross, and then there it rips, and it could just continue to rip, right? I know this in hindsight, but when you're trading, this is how you minimize risk. You minimize the risk by looking at the support and resistance, clearly identifying it, and then going through your progressions, going to see if the level 2 is showing signs of support and resistance. If it's showing you these things, even though these are highly manipulated, at least they're showing you something that you can use as a guide. This is a guide. It might be manipulated as much as it wants. It's still a guide. There's a guide that gives you some idea of where the price action will go, right? So you give some parts, not fully faith, but you give some of your faith into it. The trust the fact that at least you're getting market efficient information, right? And then from there, be able to, find a position that you want to get in and get out, right? I hesitated many a times before coming into this lunchtime, and knowing that this lunchtime would probably be a very powerful time to buy with such a strong catalyst. But I didn't, so I'm learning from my loss. This is a horrible loss to have, a $300 loss to have, but I know that with my wins in Roku and TLRY and FNKO, which was today, despite this loss, I didn't carry the baggage of ALDX into FNKO. So with FNKO, I bought this yesterday night, or yesterday before the market closed, and I actually should have bought more shares when it was right here, but I wanted to play everything. I have all these stocks that I want to play, and I have to reduce the amount of trades. The more trades that I make, more opportunities I put myself out to lose. So you don't want to put you want to diversify yourself always. I get it, but if I am learning from my mentor Steve Tim Sykes, if you are a day trader, it is hard to really captivate yourself or to engulf yourself in the mind frame of different behaving stocks, because every stock's price action has a different personality. So it is hard to manage multiple positions at one time. Maybe after practice of getting used to it and getting used to it, then having multiple accounts open will be helpful. But I do have, one, two, and three. Well, now four with IGC. I do have IGC. Yeah. I do have four positions open. So, only two of them, Roku and TLRY, I'm not thinking about selling at all. I'm not thinking about selling them for a while. If tomorrow's a big sell-off, then yeah, I'm selling them. But as of now, my plans is not to sell them, and I have specific prices that I want them to be at before I sell them. So, so going back to FNKO, I end up earning just because of this price action. Now, if you can see, since its last run up, it had a run up to, this is a beautiful chart. It had a run up and then it had a full crash, right? So I am anticipating that it repeats this run up that it did beforehand, before it came. This was just multiple days. Every day you can probably add, even if it pulls back like this, you can probably just take whatever profits that you made from what's been going on throughout the uptrend. There might be some days that you're like, nope, like on maybe this day would have probably been a good day to buy, because this green candlestick is somewhere near this red candlestick. So the top portion of this red candlestick is meeting the top portion of this green candlestick, right? So if that happens, sometimes, especially if you use your other indicators that guide you along the process, sometimes this helps engulf all the selling that has occurred and allows an uptrend like this. So that is exactly what I implemented when I bought FNKO on this day. This was Wednesday. On Wednesday afternoon, I said, this looked like something that is engulfing this. It's engulfing its previous red day. The previous red day went up to 21.45. This one was more at 21.70, 21.68. I ended up buying at 21.69 or 21.68, and I just let it rip over here, and I sold at 23.50. I actually planned on selling at 23.20, but it had more energy. So I saw that it had more energy, and I allowed it to do what it wanted to do. So I could show you on the 1 minute chart. See, it had more energy, after, it came back yesterday, and I thought that, today, that it was going to want to come back all the way down to 21.35, and I said, if it were to come back all the way down there, at least I'll be ready, right? So I already had my sell position getting ready to sell at 21.30, and it didn't and I end up not selling it because I really trusted the pattern. I really trusted that I knew 100% with 100% certainty that it would do what I wanted it to do. And yeah, you could say that was arrogance, because clearly on, and see, I'm trying to forget it already. Where are you? Did I deleted you already? No, ALDX. That's right. Uh, Clearly on ALDX, I did not. I said the same thing, and every indication in the world was telling me it was coming down. Actually, every indication in the world was not telling me that FNKO was coming down. Once it crosses here, once you have that, once you have this, 100-day moving average and the VWAP coming so close together, just stop and watch and wait. Because once the 100-day moving average crosses over the VWAP, right? The VWAP is green, the 100-day moving average is white. And once one crosses over the other on the minute chart, this is 9 times out of 10, this will happen. It will run $1, right? So I definitely moved my sell order from 23.20, which I was going to sell here. Um, and once I saw that, oh, this 100-day moving average is going higher, and it was pulling back, but it was kind of holding this 23.10 area, I said, you know what? Let me just hold it, and I'll sell it. And I sold it at 23.50. And when it was starting to pull back, I said, you know what? Now it's starting to pull back. I learned from my lesson in ALDX that once it starts pulling back, you use that. You understand that it is pulling back. Once it starts pulling back, you use that as knowledge to say, hey, it is now time for me to get out. Get out, boys and girls. The party's over. The party's done. You should have got your money when you could have. You didn't. Come out with a small loss and call it a day. Go have some drinks and, well, I don't drink, but go tell your sad story to somebody and know that you came unscathed with $50 or $20. I came scathed with $30. So this $300. So this was a $300 lesson for me, and for you. I'm sharing you this because this is something that I ended up not getting out at ALDX until 13:30 today. I thought it was going to go lower, so I said, you know what? Let me just cut my losses 13:30, and then it comes up to 14:35, so I could at least recover the dollar loss out of it. But it's fine. It's okay. I can deal without. The main part is that when it came to FNKO, I did not apply what the negative emotions that I had from ALDX to FNKO, realizing that there are two separate stocks, and that because they're two separate stocks, I can go in with a different mentality. I wanted to sell this because I still think that this will go higher, but I also do believe that the trend has been that on Fridays are red days. So because the Friday is a red day, I will look at rebuying this again towards the end of Friday as opposed to the beginning, because like I said, on Fridays it's known to be red days. So let's see, maybe it might come back. Maybe it might come back to like 22.40 or 22.20, right? Between 22.20 and 22.40, if it comes back there and it looks like it still has opportunity to go green, then I would probably purchase it, but I'll have to put everything into perspective on the day. So yeah, like that's pretty much my biggest lessons from FNKO and ALDX. Now IGC is showing me something too. This is something that I recently purchased and sold for profit, and now back in it again. And now that I'm back in it, remember this is a recent like weed stock or weed associated stock with CDB infused oil. And one of the main reasons why I bought it is not because of what it wants to do with its sports drinks, not because of not with sports drinks, but just with drinks in general when it wants to infuse energy drinks with CBD oil. Because it says how much it alleviates pain and all these great benefits to pain, and that you won't get addicted. Um, so that's the main reason. So the U.S. Justice Department came out with a memo on the 20th. Yeah, it said this will be actually registered on the 28th and available online, but is now a Schedule 5 drug with the FDA approved drugs containing cannabis oil. Corresponding change to the permit requirements. So, the FDA, which contains CDB, is Scheduled 5 of the Controlled Substance Act. Specifically, this order places FDA approval drugs that certain CBD derived from cannabis and no more than 0.1% tetrahydrocannabinol as Scheduled 5. This action is required to satisfy the responsibility of the acting administrator under the Controlled Substance Act to place a drug in schedule he deems most appropriate to carry out United States obligations under the Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs from 1961. So this is something that made me want to buy it. And I was late to the party. I was actually pretty late. Just like with ALDX. I looked at IGC and I hesitated so bad. I am so mad at how hard I hesitated. Because once the market closed, I saw this like 420, 430. I was like, oh, there's some movement there. And then when I saw 440 and 460, I was like, what's going on? And then at 460, I saw 480. And I said, oh, I got to get in. I anticipated trying to get in at 480. But this is the one issue that I normally have with and I don't want to go on too long, but this is usually the one issue that I have when I do anything with the stock market, is being able to balance what I'm doing with work and what I'm doing on the market. I inspect restaurants. So at times I have to, be ever so present at the restaurant so I can be able to fully engage. And that's the same way you have to be with the stock market. You have to be fully present, because when you're not fully present, trying to get into a trade, it could backfire. And even though the DEA came out with this new scheduling for CBD, which shows that it's not essentially Schedule 5 is just saying that it's non-addictive. It gives it more of an opportunity to be bought more and to be seen more in the open public. But when this news came out, I could have gotten in at a much better price if I saw or bought at the support that I wanted to buy at. I wanted to buy in the 480s. I would have been comfortable even with the low 490s, like 490, 492. 488, 485 to 492, I'd have been comfortable with. And then it ramped up. But what I did is I ended up buying it when it was coming back. And I bought in at I want to say 540. I want to say 540, but it might have been 537. Let me just double check so be accurate. And I'm going to figure out how to get all my screen stuff to show on the computer so you can see it too. So you can see it on YouTube as well. I just don't want my information out there. So IGC, I ended up buying at 542. That was a lot higher than I thought, actually. I don't know why I thought I bought in 530. I probably was trying to make it an order at 535. I do remember trying to make an order at 535 before it started ramping up. So that might have, no, that wasn't over there. So I think I bought like somewhere near here. And then as you can see, it kind of just pulled back and pulled back. So if I was really diligent, if I was really like a student of my craft, I would have saw the support forming and say, you know what, 480 is a definite support, and then from this 480, be able to identify when to sell. And getting $1 a share after hours, it's not guaranteed that it's going to continue to go back up when the market or when pre-markets open in the next 4 hours. So that's not guaranteed. It could definitely come right back down. Right now, the marked price. Actually, I think I could. Yeah, see, the marked price has me down $123, but everywhere else it doesn't have. It's the marked price says it's at 460, and so 460 is telling me that I've lost already, right? But as we see it right here on the price, it says it's at 516, so I'm down a good 20 cents, 30 cents a share right now, 30 cents a share. But the market's telling me something else. So I'll figure that out in the morning when I get all my money back. But the IGC, ALDX, those are two prime examples where a stock has given itself had a positive reaction and it ran, and I hesitated, and before I wanted to get the whole FOMA experience going on, you know and buy in, that fear of missing out. And I bought in, it pulled back strong. So because it did that, these are something that I need to manage better as a trader, and seeing that, hey, just because it has this good news behind it, or good volume behind it, because this is up on volume. There's no real news other than the CBD drinks, and it hasn't even mentioned anybody that they're dealing with. Really, like, you see, one day after the close, Campbell no Fuse Energy business drink signing a deal to distribute Nitro G drink. Oh, okay. Well, it did show some of this Nitro G. So whatever Nitro G is, I'm gonna have to do some more research into it. But this is something that is showing that there's some movement. So I guess this could do something positive, showing some potential buying of this energy drink. So you know maybe this might do something, but like I said, excuse me, right now, based off of price action, I could have bought at a much better price. Did the same thing with ALDX, like I said, could have bought in at a better price. Clearly, I can identify when it's going to spike, when it's going to have that opportunity to spike and make some money, make some quick money off of, for real quick. I don't have to be in all day. You don't have to be in all day. You can be in for 15 minutes, get your money, and be out. Get your money, be out. Like that could be it. But I chose the harder route. I chose. Hey, I want to hold it much longer. Or I want to wait much longer because I'm not sure. And probably a little bit of this hesitation with here came because I just came off the loss of ALDX earlier in the day, so I was probably a little bit more cautious than normal. But I'm gonna wrap up because it's probably been about 30 minutes. But I definitely wanted to highlight those three stocks that I did from yesterday going on into today. Yesterday being Wednesday, now Thursday, but it's 12:30 now, so it's Friday. So you know what I'm saying. On Wednesday, September 26th, the Thursday, September 27th. These were the trades that I was in on, and I'm profitable on OLMM. After I thought I was going to sell it early in the week, but it's starting to make some traction. Actually, let's start looking at this pattern now because it has been testing the 69 cent area, and I've been just holding it. I just holding it. Right now, it's kind of doing that engulfing thing, but I would love it to go to like 76 cents. I would love for it just to ramp up to 76 cents so I can sell it. But right now, it's taking the slow route, so I can wait. It's holding 62. It's no longer going down to the 50s or anything like that. I'm in at 64, so I'm up. So I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill with OLMM. I know I said in another video I was going to sell it. I didn't sell it, but I'm going too much. This is all study. This is all review. This is things that I just wanted to talk about, just verbalize, just kind of get my mind going for tomorrow's market open, and anticipating a nice return on a Friday, cash Friday, going into the weekend. So IGC, FNKO, ALDX, big lessons learned here. And I hope that you learn too. And I'm just here sharing my experience. Enjoy.